Adoptive siblings called me cellar rat while I slept in the basement, so I'm leaving and doubt my absence will be noticed. I, male 18, was adopted by a family when I was 5. I don't know my biological parents. The family already had 3 children. 3 girls. Apparently after the first girl they tried for a boy, but it always ended up being a girl, so after 3 girls they adopted me to finally have a son. In the first few years of my life they treated us all well. My sisters, however, were never able to accept me. They saw me as an outsider who doesn't belong in the family. Actually, it was the oldest one, called Alicia, who poisoned the other 2, called Maria and Juliet, against me by telling them that our parents would treat me better because I was a boy, which wasn't true. In fact, all 3 of them protested against me getting a room in the same floor as them. And my parents gave in. There was a spare room in the basement where I had to sleep now. This, however, just led to them making fun of me, calling me names like cellar rat and many more things. I just shrugged it off, assuming that's how siblings treated each other. But I realized that having my sleeping room in the basement somehow also affected the way my parents treated me. Sleeping down there felt like I was out of sight for them. They lost interest in me and I became less significant and important. While on the other hand they started to focus more on my sisters. When I was 13 they completely lost interest in me. It was like I was a homeless person living in the basement. They missed all the appointments I had. They didn't care about my grades. They never even called me to eat. Sometimes I would come upstairs and see how they already took away the plates. If I was lucky there were leftovers that I could eat. Do you think I got presents for my birthday? No, because they didn't even know my birthday in the first place. And last Christmas they said they forgot to buy presents for me, saying they will go shopping with me the next few weeks to get me something, which, as you might expect, never happened. I don't feel despised towards my sisters. I'm glad they have a home where they are cared for and that they can feel loved. I just don't understand why they would adopt me if they just throw me away like a piece of paper. I think they just wanted to have this feeling to have a son for some time, but then realized they could never love me like one of their own. And putting me into the basement was the last straw. That is when they completely banished me from their minds. And I just can't do this anymore. I decided to pack my things and leave. I will do it tonight. I stay at a friend's house for a while and try to look for a job that hopefully gets me enough money so that I can rent an apartment. And after that I will never look back. I decided to leave a letter behind in my room. I wouldn't be surprised if they never even find it. Let alone notice that I'm gone. I use a throwaway for this, but I actually don't know why. Update 1. So at the evening before my adoptive parents went to bed, I snuck into their bedroom and took all documents that I could find and waited for nightfall. I packed my things and left when all of them were asleep. Everything went as planned. I silently left the house and went to my best friend's home. He had an apartment in a neighbor's city, so I had to walk for a while. I arrived at his apartment between 2 and 3 a.m. He had a spare bedroom that he used for visitors who might want to stay for the night. We agreed that I could live with him as long as I want. He only expected me to find a job quickly, and if I do that he wants me to help him pay the rent for it. I was fine with that. I slept through the night and at the morning I started looking for jobs immediately, but now a few hours something more than interesting happened. While I was on his laptop still looking through the online job advertisements and collecting them, the doorbell rang. He opened the door and I heard a familiar voice. But it wasn't one of my parents. It was one of my sisters. Maria, to be exact. The middle sister. I heard how she asked if I was here. He wanted to lie for me, but I decided to talk to her to find out what she wanted. So I appeared behind him and she winked, "Thank God you're here," and hugged me. I was completely overwhelmed and surprised and didn't know what to say, and then she told me how she found me, and this is where things get more interesting. She told me that this morning a way too familiar sounding story appeared on her TikTok For You page. Apparently my story was shared by a TikTok account who actually had a quite big audience, and she became even more suspicious of the situation when her and the name of her sisters were also mentioned. To be sure about the situation, she went in the basement and into my room, where she found the room mostly empty and of course my letter. I mentioned in the story that I would stay with a friend, so she went out looking for me, telling our parents she was about to visit a friend. She said she drove to 2 different houses before finding the correct address. She apparently visited 2 other friends of me before finding the correct apartment. Apparently she also took the letter with her. She said she hasn't showed them the letter yet and wanted to talk to me first. No one besides her knew where I was or what I did the last night. She apologized to me and offered to talk with her on my side to our parents. She explained that the way I talked about her in the original post made her feel bad. She said she never hated me or anything. She admitted that she also protested against me having a room on their floor, but just because of Alicia's influence on her and because she believed her lies when she was younger. Now that I think about it, unlike Alicia and Juliet, she never called me bad names. She said that Juliet probably also is just insufferable because of how Alicia manipulated her. She said she never realized how bad I was treated. She never gave a second thought about me because Alicia spread rumors that I was just very socially awkward and overall didn't like any of them, and that I would just lock myself inside the basement like the worst introvert and all of that. And as a reason for her claims, she just reminded them that I was adopted, and that is why I would try to make myself the outsider. I said to her that this might explain why she and Juliet might have been like that to me, but not why my parents would have behaved that way. She replied that she also can just make claims here without any proof, but she thinks it's because even between them Alicia is the golden child as the firstborn. Her and Juliet are only the failed attempts of them having a boy. And her being the golden child made it easier for her to manipulate both of them into believing the lies she told them. Then she said that she knows that mom and dad would be pretty easy to manipulate if you know how. And then she gave me 4 options. 1. I could come with her right now and talk with her to my parents. 2. She would let me think about it and leave but not tell my parents. 3. I refused to go back with her entirely but she would tell them about the letter without telling them where to find me. 4. I refused to go back with her entirely but she would pretend to not know anything but maybe stay in contact with me. I picked option 2 and she gave me her number. She said that if I decide to give them a chance she would support me but she would understand if I refused to. And now we are here. I don't know what to do. I would lie if say I wasn't tempted to give them a chance, but on the other hand if it's true that Alicia is the one behind all of that I don't know if I want to deal with her again. Update 2. I start this by saying that many of your comments suggested that Maria could have potentially manipulated me and that I shouldn't trust her just now. Which I understand. I decided to stay with my friend. Especially since I applied for so many jobs yesterday and I think I could find one in no time. So there is no reason for me to get back with them as an 18-year-old. But these are just side facts. I would have not given you an update if nothing had happened. Apparently my adoptive parents did realize I was gone recently so they started looking for me. They are sure that Maria knew where I was considering she had my letter with her. I'm currently only in contact with Maria who told me all of this. Apparently my parents tried asking her about my whereabouts and grounded her after she refused to tell them. Yes, they grounded a 21-year-old. Couldn't believe it either. As many of you suggested I went to the police so they couldn't file a missing report about me. And meanwhile Alicia started to spread rumors again. Apparently she used my disappearance as a proof that she was right with everything and Juliet believes every single word. She is completely under Alicia's control. Even though I didn't want to see them again I kind of want to give Maria a chance. I asked my friend if hypothetically Maria could stay with us too. He raised an eyebrow and said only if she wants to sleep on the couch and then he asked me why I want her here in the first place. The thing is if she cares about me then I don't want her to stay with this family. He was annoyed but said yes. I texted her asking if she'd consider to move out and offered her to stay with me and my friend. Before you say it. I know it seems like a way too quick decision. But I truly think that Maria is not like the rest of them. Many of you said that she probably wanted to save face but someone wouldn't go through all that to find me and then protect me by keeping my whereabouts a secret if they just wanted to save face. Considering that I never mentioned their last names or where they live so it's not like anyone could have known it was her in real life. I honestly think that my story opened her eyes. She answered by asking if I was for real and that she wasn't sure. I reminded her that she is 21 and probably should think about moving out of our parents' house anyway. And that she was grounded at her age is pretty effed up. They treat their children like 10-year-olds even if they are adults. She said she is not denying that she would like that because apparently Alicia also started to spread lies about her too because of how she behaves towards me. She overheard how she was talking to her friends about her and that she was called a complicit of a maniac. Still don't know why Alicia hates me so much but I don't care about it. She said she doesn't think it's a bad idea but she wants to find a job to have a financial stability first before moving out. That was fair enough, and my friend was much happier this way too. He said he isn't really excited of having another jobless person living with him. But he said that if she has a job he'd gladly help her. One more reason why I think that Maria moving out isn't a bad idea is because if both her and me got a job we could probably rent an apartment together in no time and would not have any financial problems. So yeah, that's it for now. Let's see what happens in the future. I want to mention one more thing. On my last post some people were talking badly about the TikTok account that shared my story. Please don't talk badly about the account. They didn't know it would end like that and I don't have a problem with anyone sharing my story. Thank you for reading wth.reddit. Some of you pointed out the situation with my friend. Believe me, if I wasn't sure he was okay with it I would not have suggested it. He was unsure about the offer at first because I hadn't asked her before asking him so of course he thought it was just another jobless person. But like I said he is fine with it as long as she has a job. And I'm definitely grateful for what he is doing and I will repay his kindness. Don't worry about that. Smile, what he does should not be taken for granted and I know that. You're also right that offering her to live in his apartment is going a bit far. But like I said, he is an amazing person. I wouldn't do it if I knew he wasn't 100% okay with it. Update 3. Today I got a call from Alicia, and apparently nothing is what it seems to be. I still try to process this call. I've been in contact with Maria for a few days and I truly thought she was different but she was just like the others. When I got the call today it was an unknown number. I froze when I heard Alicia's voice. She screamed at me saying who the hell do I think I am to talk about her like that. We had a little argument but somehow managed to calm down. I thought about hanging up but I wondered what she wanted from me. She told me to grow up. I was never part of their family according to her and that I should have known it since the beginning and stopped crying about it now when I could have done something about it the entire time. I admit I was angry and not very nice. I told her to go FCK herself and told her I was going to get Maria out of there too because both us wouldn't deserve a life around someone like her. Then she said something I guess she shouldn't have said. She said that I was ridiculous because Maria was a part of all of this theater and if I truly thought mom and dad cared about me. Then she accused me of trying to ruin her family and told me what really happened after I left. They tried to save their face. Maria hasn't told me the full story. Apparently it's true that she was the one who found my story on TikTok by accident, and she also found the letter first. In Maria's version of the story, she lied to mom and dad and told them she was about to visit her friend when she was looking for me and they didn't know about it. But Alicia said that Maria told mom and dad immediately after finding my letter. This also answers the question how Maria knew about my friend's address. I never told this to anyone except my adoptive mom. They thought that if they fooled me into thinking I had someone on my side, it would be easier for them to get to me because they assumed I probably wouldn't open the door for them. I couldn't believe it and asked why I would believe someone like her, to which she replied, "Who do you think gave me your number?" Then she demanded me to take down my posts and hung up. Honestly, I kinda believe her. But it also proves that they are all the same. They try to manipulate me to get back with them to save their reputation. Many of you guys warned me about this, but even after everything that happened, I didn't want to believe someone could be this evil. But that's it. I will cut any contact with them. I am not taking my posts down. Everyone deserves to know what these people are. I cannot believe I tried so desperately to see the good in them. Oh, some of you might want to know that I also apologize to my friend for offering room that wasn't mine to begin with. I understand your critique about this and you are right. I crossed a line there. With that being said, the chapter Adoptive Dickhead Family is hopefully closed now. I try to focus on my life and maybe someday I will find someone who truly loves me. I might keep you updated if anything is going to happen, but think this could as well be the last post of this throwaway account. Wish me luck. Update 4. I am not lying with anything. I wish all of them the best. But I don't want to have anything to do with this family. A few people pointed out that Juliet and Alicia made posts of their own, but apparently these posts got deleted, cause I cannot find them. I also can imagine they were just fake profiles and that they are not the real ones. You can post them under this post if they can be found somewhere. But no matter what they wrote, I'm sure that if they are real, they try to save their reputation by telling you lies. I would like to appeal to you to not believe anything they say. The backlash on my last post and the people calling me liar, however, is frustrating, and right now I need some peace and focus on my life and things that feel good to me. I hope you can understand that. I'm going to keep my account here for 2 days and then delete it. This way I can leave this behind and no one of the negative comments can accuse me of hiding anything or doing it for clout or Reddit karma. And everyone should be able to read my story before it gets deleted. To those who support me, I want to thank you so much. I felt safe enough to share my story and even update you. When I made the first post, I never thought it would reach so many people. So thank you all so much. 3 Edit. Okay, I just found Juliet's post on the same TikTok page that shared my story, and this post is completely fake. My name is not Ben as suggested in this post. It's more like a fan fiction of my story where someone who has nothing to do with our family tried to add their perspective. And the situations that were described there never happened. It's not even that they happened, and it's just a different perspective. Now on to second story. Colleague accused me of filming her while she napped at work, but refused to check my phone for proof, and now my job hangs in jeopardy. I, 31 male, will rest at a communal sofa area in our office. Usually it's just me and 2 other guys occupying the space. Last Friday when I went there, I saw a lady lying down on one of the sofa resting. I didn't think much of it and took the sofa opposite to it. The sofas are face to face for context. I was swiping on my phone watching TikToks nonchalantly when she woke up, saw me and left. Some time later, she came back with another colleague making rounds around the area, so I asked them if everything is alright. They say they dropped something. I asked if they needed help looking for it. They say no and left, and I kept on with my business. After which I went back to work. About an hour later I was summoned to a meeting room by the CEO's personal assistant, female. She told me the lady who was resting there woke up to my camera pointing at her and she felt like I was filming her. I was really taken aback and caught by surprise. I was asked to explain myself, and at that moment I really didn't know how to, especially since there weren't any CCTV around to verify my claim. I told her it's my daily routine and the other guys can verify my claim by. Unfortunately they weren't around that day to back me up. Since I was summoned out of the blue, my phone was on my desk, so I requested for her to retrieve my phone and I can unlock on the spot to let them go through everything just to prove my innocent. The PA then asked if I was okay having a conversation with the lady, which I agreed because I was eager to clear my name. Throughout the whole session I repeatedly offered to show them my phone and had to justify why I was there with my phone. She declined the offer and told me I should have better social awareness. She didn't dare look me in my eyes and it made me feel like a predator. I was very upset, but I can see her being traumatized, perhaps having some previous unpleasant episodes herself. So I apologized for making her felt unsafe, and we left. She did not apologize for the accusation. I just felt really unfair, because it is a communal area that everyone have access to. I wasn't hiding my presence too, I was just resting as she was. It wasn't like I was trespassing into the ladies' toilet or anything. I was just going about with my daily routine. Her being there for the first time and making such claim against me is really hurtful. I was there thinking we were equal, but she clearly saw me as a predator. I can't help but wonder if it was a lady sitting opposite of her with her phone on her hand, would this lady had reacted the way she did. I just joined this company about half a year ago, and I really enjoy my work and environment. I do see myself working here long time, but I don't know how this is going to affect me in the long run. I've been losing sleep last few nights just thinking about her going about painting me as the office perv. For a moment I really felt like the ladies that was accused of being witches during the Salem witch trial. On one hand I totally understand her concern. I have sisters and if they felt like they were filmed I do wish that they have the courage and means to confront the other party. But as I am standing on the receiving end of this unfair accusation, I really don't know what I could have or should have done to better articulate my views and defended myself. I tried my whole life to be the gentleman, to build my reputation and uphold equality, but after that incident I felt like it all crumbled down. So gents in SG, could you please tell me what you would have done? Please excuse any grammatical errors, I'm just ranting ATM and do not have the head space to care for perfect English. I'm deeply affected and frustrated. Update 1. Note 1, CEO's PA is neutral. In fact I'm glad she was the one who took up the role as mediator. I don't know why HR wasn't involved, but the lady that came about with the accuser was part of HR. Maybe they think it warrants further escalation to higher-ups. Note 2, the lady was there on the sofa area because she was feeling unwell. The wellness room was also occupied so she had no choice but to use the communal sofa area. Note 3, I notice a lot of PPL are asking me to avoid her moving forward, but I wonder if avoiding her will make her feel like I was feeling guilty furthermore. I did avoided her the whole of Friday because I didn't want any further unhappy interactions. Note 4, I don't really care for her apology anymore. I just wanted to know what I should have done to protect myself. It's my first time dealing with this and caught by surprise, so I couldn't find anything to protect myself. I hope I can clear my name. Yes, it was all a misunderstanding in the end. She said you filmed her, but you denied. Her insecurity shouldn't be your reason for apologizing. You offered to let them scroll your phone, she declined. That is on her. Only 2 reasons why she refused to take up the offer. 1, she outright indicating you did film her and she refused to look at it otherwise. 2, she knew she had no evidence and she refused to step down and apologize. I saw you mention that you want to protect yourself. Sure, but first in order to protect yourself, you need to clear your name. And by clearing your name is to prove that you didn't do it, and hence you need an apology from her. Otherwise what you will be hearing in the future is it's Minnie Ao tried to film me while I was sleeping and he apologized to me, he confirmed guilty about it, just that I refused to pursue further. And yes, you apologizing is already telling her that she is correct on her accusation. That shouldn't be. You should now approach the HR, preferably in written form, that you have been accused of this incident. You apologize to her because you want to appease the situation, but now you feel that you would want to clear your name because you did nothing wrong. And if HR refuses to escalate and get to the bottom of things, you tell the HR you will call in the police. Let them scroll your phone, and if they can't find anything related, then that is defamation and slander at best, and you should demand a written apology from the girl. In fact, everything should be in black and white. Verbal is not enough, because words can twist to say that it's Minnie Ao forced me to apologize even though he filmed me. Update 2. The first thing I did today, 30 September, was to talk to HR. Unfortunately we don't have a single guy in HR, so I spoke to a lady, but she was nevertheless very helpful. She told me HR was made aware of this incident but they do not intend to formally investigate as no formal complaints were logged. She said the accuser did not want them involved as well, and she seek the PA assistance because the PA was a registered mental health first aider. She told me they did had a conversation with the accuser, and she is seeking professional help as she feels very embarrassed and guilty for putting me through this. HR told me the accuser wondered if she might have overreacted. HR asked me what do I intend to do. I told them I am not intending to seek retribution against the accuser, but I will write, informally, a recollections of what happened. I told them I am still willing to cooperate if they needed any investigation, to which HR said no. While I do not intend to bring things further, I will reserve my rights to seek justice if I hear any rumor spread about me. HR reassured me they will do damage control on my behalf and make sure no rumor spread beyond us. I am not sure how effective this will be, but I am ready to move on.